Let's talk about the easiest passive real estate strategy. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down how co-lending works, what co-lending is, and how accredited investors can earn predictable returns, and ultimately how to do it without ever managing a single property yourself. So, first thing, what in the world is co-lending? Well, co-lending is where two parties come together and they lend on property. They're in a debt position, ultimately becoming much like a bank lending on projects. And those projects can range from anywhere from a very simple fix and flip house all the way up to something far more complicated like a commercial property that's worth tens of millions of dollars. Credit investors love this because ultimately they fall into this kind of bank position, this first lien position where they can be like a bank but earn returns that look much closer to equity type returns. Pooling capital together, it reduces the risk, not just from a capital standpoint, of course, but from a roles and responsibility standpoint. Because when doing co-lending properly from an accredited investor position, is that it's truly passive. You get to vet the operator, you get to vet the property or properties or the strategy that's being loaned on, and then ultimately you sit back. You let somebody else operate that. And that's really the second piece is the operators do all the work from underwriting to borrower screening to loan servicing and collections. Underwriting typically looks like two of two things. But the first thing is underwriting the borrower. Who is the borrower? What's their track record? What's their experience? What's their credit score? What's their liquidity position? And as soon as that passes the test, the other piece is underwriting the property because both things have to be green lights. So underwriting the property, is it actually an opportunity? What type of collateral is it? And then structuring that loan to make sure one's in a secured loan to value position. So what you earn and why it's predictable. Rates of return can range anywhere from 8% all the way up to about 12 or 13%, depending on the type of structure. And it's much like a bank. I mean, these are typical first mortgage positions, interest being paid by that borrower on a monthly basis. And so you end up getting cash flow either monthly or in some cases, if it's pooled together in a portfolio, you're getting paid out quarterly just to make things easier on the managers issuing the checks. And give some thought to where you are geographically. We operate here in the Midwest. We think there's some greater stability in the Midwest and the coasts, some of the other regions in the country. And so therefore, we like to have it set and forget it. We like it boring here in the Midwest. But you may have an affinity to certain geographic areas that you've got exposure to that you're familiar with. So give that some thought too. So how do you get started? Well, the first thing you do is you vet your operator. Meet somebody, understand what they're doing, how they're doing it, their track record, their history. You want to understand the loan to value. How do they underwrite opportunities? And then what kind of loan to value is your dollar and cents in? And then know your liquidity options. So ask those types of questions. How do I get my money back and when? If I want to get my money back, how does that work? So understand that. So that's how co-lending works. You can earn predictable income with equity type returns with pretty high liquidity. And you can do it all without ever managing tenants, toilets, or termites. So if you want to learn how we structure these here, that'd be great. I dropped a link in the description below. You can watch a video there.